Hello everyone, Rare Model Reviews here. You know what time it is. Got ourselves a package to unbox. So before I even open this thing up, just a little disclaimer. Honestly, this could have just been a simple unboxing video. There's only one kit in here. I'm just kind of copping out and calling it a what's in the package video, just because the fact that technically there is a second item in here. But in typical fashion, this is from the Gundam store. You guys probably got a glance at what that is, but ignore it. Didn't see anything. First and foremost, I'm going to give a shout out to the person here that did this package here for me. I can't tell what that says. It looks like Rowan, but I love the little ooh with it there. So we, of course, have a little manifest on what they have going on sale here. So, honestly, the only thing I'm really interested in is probably going to be the Goku. I'm debating on whether I want to get that or not. And of course, the 1-to-100 Savior here, I'm tempted to get that as well. Problem is, I know a lot of those early seed kits were kind of bad, and I'm pretty sure that is from the original run of those kits that came out, what, around 2004 or 6. I also want to mention, getting to the figure arts here, my last video on Yamcha did crazy. I can't believe it got so much support. So first and foremost, I want to thank you guys for all the support you gave that video. And I can confirm that maybe I was a little hasty in saying I should probably stop bothering reviewing the figure art stuff, as clearly you guys proved that there definitely is some demand for it. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But moving on along, we're going to go ahead and look at our first item here. And that's going to be a glass equalizer, which is like a glass file, really. I've been hunting for one of these for a while now, and I finally ended up getting one. So I'm actually super glad to get one, as I'm sure this will help clean up a lot of my parts a lot better than I have been doing right now with just a standard file and my hobby knife. As I feel like I've been a little rough with my stuff with the hobby knife. So hopefully this, again, will help clean up stuff a lot better and help me end up with a much more cleaner product at the end there. I think that's everything inside. So it looks like this thing just comes with a couple of containers for each of these. And I can already feel the rigid part on the back of this here. So that's going to be actually what you file with. And of course, with it being glass, I just opened this thing up. You can already see some smudges on it. So this isn't a very clean tool. It's going to get dirty very fast, so that's not a big deal. As you can see, there's little spaces in between them. So, of course, this isn't something that you typically would review, but if you guys are curious about glass files, maybe because you've heard about them but never got them yourself or what have you, I will definitely be whipping this bad boy out on the next kit I plan to review. Hopefully, that'll be done by next week, and I'll be able to get that review out too. But, again, in this video, any of my other videos, whatever, just feel free to let me know how the file works. Again, as opposed to the video, I should have used this thing, so I'll be able to give you guys an opinion on how I'm feeling about these files. But I'm gonna go ahead and get these out of here, so we can go ahead and look at the final thing we'll be reviewing here. I'm sorry, unboxing. So again, you guys, I'm sure, already got a glimpse at what it is. I didn't do a very good job of pulling it away. But that is going to be... I can pull this thing on out. There we go. The G3. So, for those of you who do not know what the heck this is from the Gundam, I'm sorry, not Origins. Gundam Variations. It basically, it's literally the RX-78. But I believe the RX-1 and RX-2, they took the whatever parts remaining from both those units and combined them into what is the Gundam RX-78-3 here, or the G3. This was then used to go and fight Char and his Zeong at a Baoku, although I believe during the variations he ended up piloting the perfect Zeong, which of course is the Zeong with legs and a sword for some reason. But of course, this is a older kit. This thing came out shortly after the original Gundam 2.0 did. So this came out 2009. I believe that one came out 2008. And as such, This thing is literally just a recolor of the Gundam Mark II here. So I'm not sure why they're showing a picture of the pilot in yellow here. I'm pretty sure Amr was the one who piloted this. I don't know what that's about. Again, I'm a little rusty with some of my stuff and the variations and what have you. So maybe I'm wrong about what this thing actually ended up having a role in with the Gundam variations and all that. But moving on along, I'm gonna actually end up taking this thing off on camera. Then of course when we cut it back, I'll actually be looking at the inside of this box here because I can't do this in one here. Now I actually have two gems, and both of those use the 2.0 here's frames. So technically I should be familiar with the build of this kit, but it's been so long since I built that original gem and I've yet to build the gem cannon. So this G3 is most likely going to be the thing that jog my memory on how the experience of the 2.0 Gundam frame is. I say that because this kit and all the gems share the same 2.0 frame of the Gundam. I mean, the gems do stand for Gundam Mass Produced. Now, getting down here, we have a bag here which has stickers for the eyes, and it looks like some sticker style decals as well, and a little chain link for the Gundam hammer. Also has some dry rubber on decals here, as well as a few more pieces for the Gundam hammer's chain. Mostly just parts for the armor here. So, getting back to the gems, although those use quite a few pieces from the Gundam itself, obviously there's enough things that differentiate the two of them, such as the backpack and the head, that you're going to still see some unique parts to the Gundam on this kit, or the vice versa if you go for the gem instead of the Gundam here. So these are going to be clear pieces. I'm not sure what that little V-fin looking piece is to the left is, but I know the rest of that stuff is going to be for the Javelin, which unfortunately is going to be in clear, not in pink. So that's definitely going to require some coloring to get it right. Not sure why they couldn't get that in clear pink. So these are a few miscellaneous pieces to who knows what. I can't quite tell just by looking at it. We, of course, have the clear pink beam sabers, and it looks like some parts mainly for the backpack and what have you here. However, it looks like we are at the end of the line of all of these runners, so it's about time we go ahead and clean up this crap and look at the manual. All right, so let's go on ahead and look inside this manual. So naturally, I do not speak Japanese and I cannot read kanji, so try to pull this thing up on a translator, maybe read all this, answer some of the questions you have on this thing. But of course, this right here, I know this is again the RX-78-1. And then, of course, they have the -2 here, just kind of trying to explain the history of everything. And they even mentioned the NT1, which is, of course, the Alex. And who knows what other Gundam projects that came after. They have all the weapons and whatnot this thing comes with. The Super Napalm. So, again, this is basically just a simple recolor of the Gundam 2.0. Remember, this is back in the day before P Bandai was even a thing, so if they wanted to do a alternate version of an existing kit, they would have just made it a standard release. They wouldn't have made it an online exclusive, especially not for something that was unique, but used a lot of parts over something else that it used as a cop-out to, you know, make it a P Bandai release anyway. Now, I've built this core fighter before on a gun tank, so it's been a while, so this is definitely going to be new and fresh to me. Probably not gonna remember a single thing I've done with this thing. I can already tell just by looking at this thing, none of it looks familiar at all. But I managed to pull that thing off myself, so I'm sure I can pull this off. Now, one thing I can say is it definitely didn't have the stand here. I didn't know what the heck this was at first, but now I know it's a stand for the core fighter, especially after I took a second look around the box in between cuts here. But this is definitely gonna be a pleasure to build this thing. I should be familiar with this build because the gem, but I can confirm as of reviewing this, I didn't even get a chance to build my gem cannon after I boxed that thing, although I'm going to end up building it sooner rather than later. I definitely do want to get that thing built, even though it's going to be a little less fresh after building this thing, as again, they share frames and all that, but I'm sure there's going to be enough different things in the construction of both of these things that it'll feel fresh enough for me to build here. So, of course, you have the MS track saying that says day of a certain September. I'm not sure what happened in September. I'm pretty sure Baoku happened in December. So again, I have to go and read that variations again on what this thing's role was in the series. Because again, I'm starting to think that maybe I was mistaken when I said that Armor was supposed to apologize and Ibalku. So that's one thing I really liked about the Gundam 2.0, just the fact that it has the classic armament setup of the Gundam Hammer and the Javelin, which are two very cool and very underrated weapons that the Gundam used that you rarely see ever be used elsewhere. I think the Javelin showed up maybe twice in other Gundam sources, not counting the show, of course. So I really love the fact that they actually brought in the Gundam Hammer and the Javelin. Albeit the Gundam Hammer came from Turn A Gundam. I'm pretty sure the thing is literally what Turn A Gundam has, but they kind of packaged it in here with the Gundam. Okay, I was wondering what those missing looking parts were. That's right for the napalm launcher. If I'm not mistaken, I think those are supposed to be red though. I already tell you guys that well, I think I mentioned earlier, but the Javelin's gonna be an all clear, so I'm gonna try to paint that thing as best as I can. I don't have clear paints and all that, so it's probably gonna come out a little rough, but when we get around to review, we'll see what exactly I managed to pull off paint-wise with that thing. So if it looks kind of crappy, yeah, okay. I'm not the best painter out there. Most of my paint comes from me just using Gundam markers, but all in due time, eventually, I'll brush up my skills with water slide decals and applying those and painting. And of course, we're going to end this thing off with one nice little professionally painted shot of the G3 here. This thing just looks amazing. I can't wait to build this thing, have it on my shelf. Now, I usually would have boxed this thing up on camera and then did my little final spiel here, but I guess I'm a little rusty with my unboxing. But either way, I thank you guys so much for watching this video here. Again, I've been wanting this thing for years, so I might end up trying to push this thing up towards the top of my list. I still have to build that Gundam Mark III. I actually ended up pushing that thing back for one other project that kind of needs to be done, as I promised him with my last video that this is going to be April is going to be the month of giants. So I am going to keep my word on that one. Just about everything you guys are going to see in April is going to be huge, a monolith. And like I said, next week, I should be able to build that thing and get a review next week. You guys are going to get exactly what I mean, and it's going to also be a bit of a teaser on what is to come. And I also want to say right now, I'm not sure if you guys look up into the news on what's coming gunpla-wise, but I can definitely tell you that Psycho Gundam Mark II and them finally making the bold note Saman. Oh, just chef's kiss. Thank you, Bandai, for finally making those. I've been literally asking for those things to be made like for a decade now. Those were the last two things we needed to get all of the main suits from Zeta Gundam done. I think they haven't done the Marine Hyzak. That's another big one. But all the other variation stuff like the gun tanks, the Gulf flight types, I don't really count those. Sure, they appeared in the show, but those are variation suits. So whenever they want to build those, hey, I won't complain either. But side tangents aside, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Feel free to comment down below. I always love hearing from you guys. And please feel free to subscribe. It's free of charge and just helps you keep up to date with my videos. So when you get amazing videos like this, you'll be notified of them just by simply pressing one button. And again, this is only an unboxing, but know that there's always going to be some Gunpla reviews. This thing will be coming very soon. Although if I start getting those juggernauts in here, maybe this thing will finally get reviewed in May. But yeah, you never know. Sometimes I get into a mood where I just start building away, and you might just end up seeing this thing sooner than you think. So this has been Rare Modern Reviews, signing out.